Women don't fall in love with who you are. They fall in love with how you make them feel. That's the brutal truth most men will never hear. And that's why they keep losing. Listen, in a world where women have more options than ever, being a nice guy is not enough. In fact, that might just be the worst thing you can be. Women aren't looking for a man who worships them. They're drawn to the one who challenges them, confuses them, and leaves them wondering. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be unforgettable. So, how do you make a woman obsessed with you? Not just like you, not just date you, but actually obsessed, like mentally, emotionally, even physically? It's not about money. It's not even about looks. It's about understanding how female psychology really works, not the fairy tale version you've been fed. Women are emotional creatures. That's not an insult, that's nature. And the man who knows how to activate those emotions the right way is the one who sticks in her mind like a drug. The truth is, obsession isn't accidental, it's engineered through behavior, through strategy, through energy. Most men try too hard to impress women on the outside and forget to trigger the one thing that matters: her inner world. This video is not for the passive. It's for the man who's tired of guessing what women want, tired of chasing, tired of rejection. If you're ready to shift from being ignored to being wanted, this is for you. We're going to break down 10 real, raw, controversial truths about how to get into a woman's head, heart, and soul, the kind of stuff most people are too scared to say out loud. But you'll hear it here, because once you understand how female psychology really works, you'll never chase again. Let's go. 1. Stop being too available. If she knows she can have you at any time, she'll stop wanting you. That's how it works. Women don't obsess over what's easy, they obsess over what's slightly out of reach. And most men mess this up right from the start. The moment she texts, you reply in 2 seconds. She calls, you pick up mid-sentence. She wants to hang out, and suddenly you're canceling your plans. Guess what? She's not impressed. She's bored. Being too available sends the wrong message. It tells her, you don't have anything going on in your life, no drive, no mission, no purpose. And if you're not moving towards something, then you become her project, not her passion. Big difference. A woman doesn't want to be your world. She wants to be part of a world that's already in motion. That's when she starts chasing. That's when she starts wondering where you are, what you're doing, and who has your attention. It's not about being disrespectful. It's not about ignoring her. It's about positioning. The man who's always there becomes invisible. The man who knows how to pull back strategically becomes addictive. Let's say you're texting every day, all day. At first, it's fun. But very quickly, she'll start to feel like she's already won you. There's no mystery left, no pull. But the moment you stop replying instantly, the moment you're unavailable for a night or two, suddenly her brain starts working. Is he losing interest? Who's he with? Did I do something? That emotional uncertainty is powerful. And if used with the right balance, it creates obsession. Because now she's thinking about you, wondering about you, talking to her friends about you. Here's what most guys never realize. Attention is currency. And when you give it away for free, it loses all value. So what's the play? Stop being everywhere all the time. Be present but not predictable. Let her feel your absence. Let her miss you. Because only then will she start to crave your presence. And that is how obsession begins. 2. Trigger her jealousy. Just a little jealousy is not always toxic. In small, controlled doses, it's one of the most powerful emotional triggers you can use, if you understand it. Here's the truth. Most women don't fully value a man until they see other women valuing him. That's when everything changes. Suddenly, her competitive instinct kicks in, her pride gets involved, and her feelings intensify. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about playing games or being disrespectful. It's about subtly reminding her that you have options, that you're a man women notice, that you're not sitting around waiting for her to choose you, and because other women already see your value. Most guys try too hard to hide their appeal. They think showing attention from other women will scare her off. But it's the opposite. When she knows other women want you, even just a little, it activates her desire to secure you. Why? Because competition increases value. It's basic human psychology. Think about it. When something is in demand, we naturally want it more. And women are no different. This doesn't mean you should flirt with every girl in front of her. That's immature. What it means is you allow her to see that you're socially desirable. You speak confidently with other women. You don't hide your charm. You don't act desperate. You're in control. It could be as simple as a female friend complimenting you in front of her, or another woman laughing a little too hard at your joke. You don't overplay it. You don't explain it. You just let her feel that slight tension, that little sting of, wait, do I have real competition here? That's when her emotional guard comes down. That's when she starts investing more. That's when she realizes you're not guaranteed. The key is subtlety. Too much and it backfires. Too obvious and it feels forced. But just enough? It hits her emotions in a way logic never could. When used correctly, a spark of jealousy turns comfort into obsession. It flips the script. She's no longer thinking, do I like him? She's thinking, how do I make sure I don't lose him? And that, my friend, is exactly where you want her. 3, master the art of mystery. The moment she fully figures you out, the game is over. Women don't obsess over men they understand completely. They obsess over men who leave just enough uncertainty to keep them curious. That curiosity, that little mental itch, is where obsession starts to grow. But here's where most guys mess up. They give too much away too soon. Every thought, every feeling, every past relationship, every little detail about their life, they lay it all out like a resume, hoping it'll make her feel close. But what it actually does is make you predictable. And predictable kills attraction. See, mystery isn't about lying or hiding who you are. It's about letting things unfold gradually. It's about giving her something to wonder about, not spoon feeding her every answer. When she feels like there's more to learn about you, more to discover, more layers she hasn't peeled back yet, that's when her mind stays on you. Think about it. We're wired to chase things we don't fully understand. That's why cliffhangers in movies work. That's why unread messages bother us. That's why the guy who doesn't overshare always seems more intriguing. He doesn't talk too much. He doesn't explain himself. He's calm, composed, slightly unpredictable, and somehow he stands out. You become magnetic when you stop trying to be completely understood, when you leave space for her to think, what's going on in his head? Or why did he say it like that? Or what is he really about? That's when her brain keeps looping back to you. The man who talks just enough to be interesting, but never too much to be boring, is the one she remembers. The man who disappears for a bit, not out of spite, but because he's actually doing something, becomes 10x more attractive than the guy who's always around, saying the same things. Mystery activates imagination. Imagination activates emotion. And once you're in her emotional world, you've already won half the battle. So ask yourself, do you want to be known in a week? Or do you want to be remembered forever? If it's the second one, start leaving some things unsaid. 4, give her emotional roller coasters. Let's be real. A flat emotional line is the fastest way to kill attraction. And a lot of men are guilty of this without even knowing it. They think being consistent, stable, and always agreeable is what makes a woman feel safe. And sure, safety matters. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Safety without emotional intensity becomes boring, predictable, lifeless. Women don't fall for the guy who makes them feel the same every day. They fall for the one who makes them feel something different. The one who can trigger a wide range of emotions: curiosity, frustration, passion, surprise, even a little confusion. Because emotion is the gateway to obsession. And men who know how to stir those emotions without being toxic are the ones who stay on a woman's mind for years. Now, here's where some men need a wake-up call. If she always knows what you're going to say, how you're going to act, how you're going to respond, she stops feeling. And when a woman stops feeling, she disconnects. It's not always logical. It's emotional. That's her wiring. She doesn't want you to be a robot. She wants unpredictability, not chaos, but that little edge that keeps her heart guessing. One day, you're deep and intense. The next, you're teasing and playful. One minute, you're fully present. The next, you're locked into your own world, chasing your goals. She feels the shifts. She notices the layers. And most importantly, she feels alive around you. But let's be honest, this takes work. It takes awareness. Most men get lazy in relationships. They start playing it safe. They stop creating emotional tension, and instead they start doing everything to keep her happy. That's a trap. You don't need to be dramatic. You don't need to start fights, but you do need to stimulate her mentally and emotionally. That's what creates attachment. That's what creates obsession. Stop trying to be the good guy all the time. Be the man who makes her feel. Because when a woman feels something powerful around you, even if she can't explain it, she'll keep coming back to you. Comfort might make her stay for a while, but emotion is what makes her hooked. 5. Be cold and warm with purpose. If you're always warm, always sweet, always attentive, you become predictable. And predictable means forgettable. But if you know how to switch it up, cold when she expects warmth and warm when she least expects it, you create emotional tension. And tension is addictive. Here's the truth. Women aren't built to crave emotional flatlines. They crave contrast. They crave that push and pull, that emotional polarity that keeps their mind spinning. When you're always warm, she gets comfortable. She relaxes. She stops working for your attention. She feels safe, but not excited. But when you occasionally pull back, when you become distant, focused, a little harder to read, it triggers something deep in her psychology, the need to earn your warmth again. Then, just when she starts to wonder if she messed up, you flip the switch. You come in charming, attentive, present. That hit of warmth feels 10x more powerful because of the contrast. And now she's locked in emotionally. This isn't manipulation, it's strategy. You're not being cruel, you're being intentional. You're teaching her that your attention is valuable and not always guaranteed, that she has to stay in the game to keep your affection. Most men are either too cold and lose her trust or too warm and lose her attraction. But the man who can balance both with precision becomes unforgettable. Think about it. When you were overly available, overly sweet, and always trying to prove yourself, did she obsess over you? Probably not. But the moment you pulled back, even accidentally, she started texting more, asking questions, getting emotional. That wasn't random. That was psychology. A woman will always crave a man who can lead her emotionally. And to lead her emotionally, you must master contrast. Not by being fake, but by being aware. Too much cold and she'll shut down. Too much warmth and she'll tune out. But that balance, that rhythm, that's where the magic lives. So next time she expects sweet, give her space. Next time she expects silence, drop something subtle but meaningful. And watch what happens. Because obsession doesn't come from comfort, it comes from unpredictability wrapped in emotional control. 6. Don't validate. Her too much validation is like sugar. A little bit makes everything sweeter, but too much, it makes you sick. And in this case, it makes her lose interest. Most men think constant compliments, nonstop praise, and reassuring her every 5 seconds is what keeps a woman interested. Wrong. That's what makes her comfortable. But comfort doesn't equal obsession. See, when you're always validating a woman, telling her she's beautiful, smart, amazing, perfect, she stops feeling those words. They lose impact. They become background noise. Worse, she starts to feel like she has nothing to earn, nothing to work for. You've already put her on a pedestal. So what's left for her to chase? Obsession is fueled by uncertainty. And when a woman feels like you're too emotionally available, like she already owns your approval, she relaxes her energy. She stops investing. She may even start testing you just to feel something again. That's not because she's manipulative. It's because you've removed the emotional challenge. You gave her the prize before she ran the race. Now, does that mean you should never compliment her? No. But the key is this. Only validate when it's earned, not when it's expected. When you withhold validation just a little, when you make her wonder what you're thinking, how much you're feeling, or whether she's really impressed you, her focus turns inward. She starts questioning herself. She starts analyzing your words. She starts chasing your approval instead of the other way around. And that subtle shift, that's what creates the mental loop that leads to obsession. A woman wants to feel chosen, but by a man who doesn't need to choose her. That's where the power lies. That's when she leans in harder. That's when your words actually start to matter. So stop giving away validation like free samples. Make it rare, make it real, make her earn it. Because when a woman knows that your approval means something and that it's not easily handed out, she'll start working to deserve it. And once she starts working for it, she's already obsessed. 7, make her compete for you. Most men are too busy chasing women to realize the real power move is making her chase you. And one of the fastest ways to flip that dynamic is to introduce competition. Here's what most guys don't get: women value what they have to earn. And when there's no competition, when she feels like she's the only one interested and you're fully locked in, there's no urgency, no pressure, no spark. But when she senses that other women want you, or that you have standards she needs to live up to, or that you're the kind of man who doesn't just settle for attention, suddenly she steps it up. That's when she puts in effort. That's when she starts asking herself, am I doing enough? Not because you told her to, but because she feels the tension. And here's what's wild: the competition doesn't even have to be real. Sometimes it's just the way you move, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, the way you don't act like a man who's desperate for female attention. You become high status by behavior, and high status men naturally create competition, not by saying it, but by being it. When she feels like she has to stand out to keep your interest, she becomes emotionally invested. She starts comparing herself to the imaginary other woman. She starts analyzing your mood, your texts, your body language, and in that emotional chaos, obsession begins. But here's where most men fail: they fold too soon. They give the girl all the power too early. They make her the prize before she's proven anything. And in doing that, they kill the chase. So flip it. Let her see that your time, energy, and attention is something she has to earn. That not every woman gets it. That you've got options, even if you don't say it out loud. Your vibe should say, you're lucky to have my interest, don't waste it. And when she feels that, she'll do the one thing every man wants and she'll start chasing you. 8, create fear of losing you. No obsession ever exists without fear. And the most powerful kind? The fear of losing you. When a woman knows she can have you forever, no matter what she does, no matter how she acts, no matter how she treats you, she stops trying. That's human nature. We all take for granted what we know won't leave us. But the moment she realizes she could lose you, the moment she senses that you actually can walk away, her emotions wake up. That fear doesn't make her pull back. It makes her hold on tighter. Why? Because people don't value what's guaranteed. They value what's scarce. So many men are terrified of creating that tension. They think if they show distance or standards or emotional strength, she'll leave. But here's the twist: when you don't show those things, she leaves anyway. Why? Because she feels nothing. No challenge. No threat of loss. No emotional urgency. She becomes secure, not in a good way, but in a bored way. That's when she starts pulling away. That's when she starts texting slower. That's when the attention drops and you're left wondering what happened. But here's the hard truth: it didn't happen suddenly. You just never made her believe you could leave. You became emotionally predictable, comfortable, safe, and forgettable. Women become obsessed when they feel slightly off balance. Not because you're playing games, but because you're showing strength. You've got a purpose, you've got direction, you've got options, and you're not afraid to walk away if your standards aren't met. That's not cold, that's attractive. And when a woman feels like she could lose your attention, your energy, your presence, she'll do whatever it takes to protect it. The key is this: don't say you can walk away. Live like it. Have a mission. Keep growing. Set boundaries. Don't tolerate disrespect. Let her feel that you're solid with or without her. Because obsession isn't born from comfort. It's born from uncertainty and the fear of losing something rare. Be rare. 9, have a life bigger than her. Here's a hard truth: if your entire life revolves around a woman, she'll eventually lose interest and possibly respect. You were never meant to orbit her. She was meant to be drawn into your orbit. Too many men make the mistake of dropping everything once they get a woman's attention. They stop grinding, stop building, stop chasing their own path, and start chasing her. And that's exactly when she starts slipping away. Why? Because women aren't attracted to men who make them the mission. They're attracted to men who already have a mission and who are disciplined enough not to abandon it. When she sees you focused on your goals, handling your business, protecting your peace, and constantly evolving, she sees strength, she sees leadership, she sees value. And that creates emotional tension because now she's thinking, where do I fit in this man's world? You become the experience, not just the provider of one. Having a life bigger than her means she's not the center of your world, but she wants to be. She starts working for your time. She wants your attention. She's trying to earn a place in your already full, purpose driven life. And here's where it hits. When you don't need her but still choose her, that's when she becomes obsessed. Women want to feel lucky to be with you, not like they're doing you a favor. And that happens when you've built something powerful on your own: a lifestyle, a vision, a routine, a level of confidence that doesn't come from her validation. Think about it. The men women remember long after the relationship ends are usually the ones who were going somewhere, the ones who made them feel like they were part of a ride bigger than themselves. So stop making her your purpose. Make your purpose, and let her want to be part of it. Because when a woman feels like she's joining a man with momentum, a man who's going places, she's not just interested, she becomes invested. 10. Never let her fully figure you out. The moment she thinks she knows you inside and out, you lose mystery, depth, and power. And when that happens, the obsession fades. It's not about being fake. It's not about pretending. It's about being unpredictable in the right way. A woman should never feel like she's cracked the full code, because the moment she feels like there's nothing new to discover, the excitement dies. Human nature craves novelty, craves discovery, craves the unknown. And the men women obsess over are the ones who always keep her wondering just a little. Not because they're hiding secrets, but because they're constantly growing, evolving, shifting, staying just out of emotional reach. She gets close, but never all the way. And that gap between where she is and where she wants to be with you, that's where obsession lives. When you're too easy to read, she puts you in a box. She labels you, predicts you, and eventually replaces you. But when you keep adding new layers, new angles, new sides to who you are, she stays emotionally stimulated. One day you're deep and thoughtful, the next you're funny and light. One day you're fully present, the next you're locked into your vision. She's always trying to figure out what's really going on in his mind. And the more she wonders, the more she invests. A man with mystery isn't shady. He's not dishonest. He's just not obvious. He doesn't spill his entire story on the first date. He doesn't post every emotion online. He lets her experience him slowly, in layers, in doses. You become the book she can't stop reading, because every chapter reveals something new. That's how obsession is built. Not all at once, but over time through curiosity, uncertainty, and a deep emotional pull. So no, don't let her fully figure you out. Let her keep trying. If she's fully comfortable, she'll never be fully obsessed. That's the line most men don't want to hear, but it's the one they need to understand. Obsession doesn't come from giving a woman everything she wants, every time she wants it. It comes from being the man she can't quite predict, the one she can't fully control, the one who keeps her emotionally engaged without ever being emotionally dependent. You want to be unforgettable? You want to live in her mind long after the conversations end? Then stop being the guy who's always available, understood, and approved. Be the experience she never fully figures out. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Tell me what you've experienced when you shifted your energy. Have women pulled away? Or have they started chasing harder? Let's talk. I'll be responding and connecting. And if your story stands out, I might just reach out. Let's build something deeper than surface level. You're not just watching, you're becoming the man.